The rumble of the Harley cut through the November cold as Bear rode a forgotten stretch of Ohio. Thanksgiving meant nothing to him, just another day alone. He was scanning for a spot to pull over when he saw the small house, paint peeling, one dim light in the front window. Inside, an old man sat at a wobbly table, skeletal and alone. His hand trembled as he spooned gray mush from a cat food can. No turkey, no feast, just grim necessity. Bear watched from the shadows of a bare oak. The loneliness radiating from the man hit like a punch. This wasn't ordinary solitude, it was abandonment. Bear's instinct screamed to ride on. Instead, he killed the engine, walked to the door, and knocked, 3 respectful raps. Silence. Then shuffling. The door cracked open on a chain. Pale blue eyes peered out. "What do you want?" Bear removed his gloves, palms open. "Name's Bear. Bike trouble down the road. Could I trouble you for a glass of water?" The old man glanced at the perfectly fine Harley and knew it was a lie. Weariness crossed his face. "I don't have anything for you." He started to close the door. "Please," Bear said softly. "It's Thanksgiving. I don't want to be alone tonight." The man froze. Shame settled over him. After a long moment, he unhooked the chain. "There's no feast. Come in if you want, but there's nothing here." The house was colder inside than out, dust everywhere, furniture sagging, no heat, no life. The man shuffled back to his chair. "Name's Arthur." He sank down. "Your bike's fine." "Yes, sir." "Then why are you here?" "I saw you through the window." "You're alone." "I'm alone. Thought maybe we could be alone together." Arthur poked at the mush. "This is all I have." Bear spotted the triangular folded flag and a framed photo of a young soldier, Arthur, decades ago. "You served." Arthur nodded. "Second World War. 101st Airborne. A war hero eating cat food in the cold on Thanksgiving." Fury surged in Bear, not at Arthur, but at a world that let this happen. "Arthur," Bear said gently, "are you hungry?" "I'm fine," the old man whispered. "No, sir, you're not. But you won't be alone anymore." Bear stepped outside and called Preacher, president of the Rough Saints MC, a Vietnam vet who understood abandonment. Bear described the scene: the cold house, the empty cupboards, the war hero, the cat food. "He's freezing to death in the dark." "Not on our watch." Preacher's voice hardened. "Where are you?" Bear gave the address. "I'm putting out the call." "We're coming." Within an hour, the street rumbled. Dozens of motorcycles rolled in, followed by trucks and vans. Rough Saints, big, bearded, leather-clad, plus families, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, nurses. 50, 60 strong, carrying tools, blankets, groceries. They gathered quietly on the sidewalk. Preacher laid a hand on Bear's shoulder. "You did good, brother." Bear knocked softly. "Arthur, it's me. I brought friends." Arthur opened the door, eyes wide with fear. "What is this?" "I don't want charity." "It's not charity," Bear said, stepping in front to shield him. "It's respect. A thank you from one generation to another." Preacher approached, head bowed. "Sir, we heard one of our own was in trouble. We'd be honored to help." Arthur's pride wavered. A nurse named Sarah stepped forward with a thick blanket. "Sir, you look cold. Can I bring this inside?" That small kindness broke through. Arthur's shoulders slumped, a tear cut through the dust on his cheek. He nodded. The group moved with quiet efficiency. Electricians hit the breaker box. Plumbers checked the basement. Women guided Arthur to his armchair, wrapped him in warmth, checked his vitals. He was underweight, dehydrated, blood pressure low. Others hauled out years of trash, scrubbed cupboards, opened windows to clear the stale despair. The half-eaten cat food can vanished with dignity. Groceries flooded in: soup, bread, vegetables, milk, eggs, a huge turkey. Soon the furnace roared to life. Heat spread through the rooms for the first time in years. A carpenter fixed the wobbly steps. An ex-Marine knelt by Arthur, asking about the 101st, Normandy, the jumps. Arthur's clipped answers grew longer, stories poured out. Light returned to his eyes. By nightfall the house breathed again, clean, warm, lit, plumbed, stocked. Folding tables filled the living room with a true Thanksgiving feast: turkey, potatoes, gravy, stuffing, pie. They seated Arthur at the head. Preacher offered a gruff grace: "For good food, good company, and brothers found." "Amen." Bear sat beside him. Arthur took his first real bite, closed his eyes, savored it. When he opened them, they were wet. "Thank you," he whispered. "You're welcome, soldier. Happy Thanksgiving." They ate, talked, shared stories. Bikers listened with respect. Arthur spoke of brotherhood and courage. The house filled with laughter and belonging. Preacher raised a cup. To Arthur, no soldier left behind. To Arthur, the room echoed. Arthur stood shakily, cup raised. "To my angels. You saved me." The saints didn't stop there. They adopted him. Daily visits brought meals and company. The young Marine returned often with history books. Sarah arranged medical care, a doctor adjusted meds and started therapy. Arthur gained weight, strength, color. His tremor eased. The community joined in. Grocery deliveries, school invitations to share his war stories. Arthur became visible, a living piece of history. Bear visited most afternoons. They sat on the repaired porch in comfortable silence, coffee in hand. One day Arthur said, "That first day, I almost didn't answer. I was ready to fade away." "I'm glad you did," Bear replied. "You have a good heart, son. Under all that leather." Bear grunted. "Don't tell anyone." Arthur lived 3 more vibrant years, surrounded by friends, respect, love. When he passed peacefully in his warm bed, his funeral packed the church, bikers shoulder to shoulder with townsfolk, mayor, children who'd heard his stories. Bear's eulogy was short: a cold Thanksgiving, a can of cat food, a knock on a door. Years later, the Rough Saints' annual Thanksgiving dinner fills the community hall. Before eating, preacher raises his glass. To Arthur. 190 voices roar back, no soldier left behind.